Jesus. Today we're going to be looking at the book of Matthew, chapter number 12. Is a long Bible reading from verse 1 to verse 21. But we're going to be looking at it from one area. The first aspect was God, Jesus, revealing himself as the Lord of the Sabbath. He said that at that time Jesus went through the grain field on the Sabbath, and his disciples were hungry, and he took from the grain and gave them to eat. But when the Pharisees saw him, they said, "Your disciples are doing the things that are not lawful of the Sabbath." And Jesus began to let them know that the reason why you could feel that the Sabbath exempts a man from doing certain things in this era when the Sabbath is come is because they have not read. So when you see people talk about Sabbath in the flesh, it's because of the fact that they have not read, irrespective of what literally they might have read. But the Bible made us to understand that what Jesus told them first was that, have you not read? Have you not read what David did when he was hungry? How that he went into the temple, and entered into the house of God and ate the shewbread that was not lawful for him to eat. The shewbread was not lawful for him to eat. It's only the priests in charge of the shewbread. The shewbread is located in the sanctuary, which is the holy place, and it is placed opposite of the lampstand, which is the menorah. And every week it has to be changed, because it is in the Jewish priesthood, as God told them in the tabernacle, that at every week the shewbread is expected to be changed. And each time the shewbread is changed, the serving priest becomes the one that eats of that bread. But during the chase of David, the Bible made reference that he got into the temple and demanded, because he was hungry, and demanded that himself and his boys should eat of the shewbread. And Jesus was telling them, have you not read how that David ate the shewbread which was not lawful for him to eat? And not just him alone, but also those who were with him. He said, verse 5, or have you not read in the law that on the Sabbath the priests in the temple profaned the Sabbath, and they were blameless? He said, but if you had known what it means, I desire mercy and not sacrifice, he said, you would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath. Most times we can be too carried away by the law, the regulations that governs an institution, a church, that we may likely forget that God is the Lord of the Sabbath. We can be so carried away. As much as excellence and structure is needed, there must be room for the Lord of the Sabbath to be in charge of the atmosphere. And it's not just applicable to the church, it's also applicable to your life. As much as you build structure, as much as you build tasks, as much as you build to-do list, what to do in a day, it's good. I'm a part of that. But there are certain times you must permit the God of the Sabbath, the God of rest, to bring you into his reality. So most times, permit him to regulate the day. Be so flexible that God can alter your plan. And that's when you will come to the full maximization of the persons of the Holy Spirit. He's a God of order, but you must allow him at certain time to regulate your plan. Don't